it's Kara from Liongate Farm, and today I'm going to show you my new mini kit. It's the Mr. Melty Snowman. It's $22.50, and I'll demonstrate it for you. Makes a couple snowmen. So today we're going to learn how to make this melted snowman. He's cute. People love them. It's a good craft bazaar item. It's also a very easy beginner item. So they're very flat. I do have a kit for these. It's a little mini kit. It's in the farm store. It's $22.50. So liongate.org, farm store, $22.50. And in the kit is the template for this. So if you want, you can trace this outline if you're not confident about freestanding it or, you know, just winging it like I do. And then you can trace this and kind of use it as a template, or you can just wing it like I do. There's a couple ways you could do it. So these are the little guys. They have a Fimo nose. They have 3 little buttons and then a little polar fleece scarf. You could also use sticks for the arms, but I felted them on. So you can see I have 2 different shapes here. Another way you can do it is cut out a piece of pre-felt. I find either way takes exactly the same amount of time. So there really isn't a benefit of the pre-felt unless you want it to give you the exact shape that is on my sketch here. So let's get started with what you need, and I will show you. You're gonna need core wool. That's your base. And then if you want to make him white, you can use straight white. I like to make him glittery, so I'm using the Merino White Sparkle. You're going to need a little bit of pink for the cheeks, a little black for the arms and the eyes and the nose and the mouth. And then I talked about this before when you're making snowmen. You could get a pack of Fimo and make a ton of little noses. I make a whole pack at once, all different sizes, so I have any kind of size I need. You need a nose and some little bells, and then whatever you're going to use for a scarf. A little bit of glue, super glue or E6000. I'm not affiliated with Gorilla Glue, but check this out. I'm going to show you. This one has a little brush. It's kind of cool. I'm into that. Makes let's work smarter, not harder. I always get it all over my fingers. So let's start. We're going to do a basic shape. I'm going to kind of lay my core wool out. I'm just going to stab it in place on my pad. This is one time where your pad actually comes in handy. I'm using a 38 star spiral. So I'm going to try and follow the shape that I drew over there for you. I'm just kind of winging it. I look at the shape. It ends up like 5 inches. You can make these any size. You can make them bigger. That has a lot of wool to commit. I've made these. I've sewn these before out of like Mormon Natural, but I was like, oh, I wonder if I can felt them. And when I did them out of Mormon Natural, I would cover up a styrofoam ball for the head. This is actually faster than sewing them, believe it or not. A little bit right here. Oregon is through its fake fall. I was totally into the fake fall. It was very nice and cool. We had some rain. I didn't have to water for like 4 days. It was fantastic. My pastures are turning green. Sheep are happy. Puppies are getting big. Kenan hasn't seen them since last week, right? Oh yeah. They're toddling around now. So you're just going to add a little bit of wool. Whoops, you don't want the black in there. Until you get the shape that you like. And I bet you know what I'm going to say next. So once you get it connected around the edge, we're going to flip it. And you know it's going to change shape a little bit, but just let's, there must be a fly in here that Rip is attacking. Rip, did you bring that fly in with you? So you can see I'm not felting super firm. I'm just trying to get my basic shape. Because what's going to happen is we're going to add, this is a quick little project. And you're going to go, oh my gosh, I can make like 12 of these in a minute. They're fun on the Christmas tree because you can sit them on the branches of your Christmas tree. Or you can just sit them in some nondescript place where people go, what? A melted snowman. So anybody in Oregon and Washington, Pacific Northwest, in 3 weeks, we will be at the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival in the building. I'm vending in the building. Let's jump in the gun there. All right, so we have this little piece left. I am going to roll it up. I'm rolling it very tightly. And as I roll, I'm going to fold in the sides if they start to stick out too much. You know what I'm making here. I'm making the head. So I'm basically making a ball. And I'm pulling it pretty tight, as you can see. So so you can see I just rolled that into a roll. Now I'm going to stuff in the sides. Let's use the multi-tool. I'm looking forward to Flock and Fiber because, well, number one, I get to vend inside. It's air conditioned or heated, depending on the weather. I don't have to worry about the weather. And I'm bringing home a new ram. I'm very excited about this new ram lamb. Might have to find him a buddy, though, because he'll be all by himself because he's just a little dude. But I'm very excited about a new ram lamb coming into my flock, new genetics. So judge your the ball should be like 1 1/4. You don't want to go too much bigger than that. You don't want his head to be too big. But 1 1/4 is what mine normally come out. And I am felting this pretty firm because we need to put a face on it. And if you don't felt it firm enough, you will lose your face or it will get flat. Who wants a flat snowman face? You want a nice round snowman face. I see that a lot. People make snowmans and their faces are all flattened in. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. But notice I haven't really felted much on this guy down here yet because that will happen when I add the sparkle. This is just a quick little project. We have a couple more projects lined up to film. And then Cannon wants me to do pumpkins again. What do you guys think? Do you want me to do pumpkins with faces? Do you want me to just do the pumpkin again in a different color? Do you want me to do the pumpkin again? What do you want? What do you want? Tell me what you want. I love all your suggestions. All right, so we've got him all nice and felted. So now I'm going to start pulling off some sparkle. And I'm going to attach his head. Now remember the merino. This is, well, the sparkle blend is a merino, and you know I'm anti merino. But it has its place, and this is one of them. And notice I'm not attaching it to the ball part yet. I'm just attaching it down here to hold the ball on. So let's switch over. We're gonna go around the base of the ball. So this is what's holding the ball, his head on. And I'm gonna undo this a little bit. And I'm gonna go to this side and I'm going to stab into that ball. we want to get that attached. And we want it to look like it's melting in. I cover the head first, that way we don't have any seams or anything weird that shows up. And you can tell it's pretty firm by the way my needle sounds. So now let's just cover this base. And if you want, you don't need to put the sparkle on the whole thing, but I like to. So this is also a good project to use that, the MELTY tool that has 7 needles in it. If you want to go faster. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. Not everybody has one. And you can see I'm scooping up my spare fibers on the edges. I'm starting to work the edges down, but you can see it's becoming firmer. And again, he's melting snow. He kind of needs to be a heap. I was showing a friend how to make these, and she wanted to make a frosty, so she found like a little hat somewhere. A little top hat, and she put it on there to make him a true melty frosty. You guys need to spam me with what you're binging right now. What Netflix are you binging? I need a new series to binge on. Now, I think we just watched, what did we watch? It was pretty good. Oh, Monsieur Spade. It's like Sam Spade in France. The bummer about that one was you actually had to pay attention because there was a lot of subtitles. So I couldn't felt while we were watching that. But it was pretty good, and there's 80 million plot twists in the very last episode. It was good. So I need something I can binge and mostly listen to. We put a TV out in the wool house. Did you know that, Cannon? Yeah, I got a TV now. So I can watch TV while I am processing wool. It's very good. Ellie, who processes a lot of stuff with me, and if you've been to our Facebook Lives, you know who Ellie is. Anyways, TV is bad for her. TV is bad. She is not good at listening to TV. She has to watch the TV. So she will just stop what she's doing to watch the TV. So sometimes she doesn't get a lot done. It's kind of funny. I told her when she's there, we're just going to listen to music because, you know, we need to be productive. So you see, you can still see where I attached the head fiber. So we're going to need to add some more in here. I mean, in the little mini kit that I gave you, in the kit, you could, there is only enough bells and a scarf and a nose for one, but I bet there is enough fiber in there to make at least 3 of these guys. It does not take a lot of fiber whatsoever. So you can make them as fluffy as you want on the edges. I tend to like my edges a little bit finished, so I will sit and do this edge like this. And if you feel like you need finger protectors, this is probably a good spot for them. I'm just gently going between my two fingers to catch these stray fibers to make him look like a snowbank. So now, then you have to decide what side do I want my face on. So also, you gotta remember, oops, you got this little scarf. And you're gonna tie it on. If you cut polar fleece in the right direction, it'll be very, it becomes very stretchy. I like to tie my knot first. It's just makes it less awkward. And the reason I'm putting the scarf on first, there we go, is so my smile, my face doesn't get lost in the scarf, underneath the scarf. So I'm going to poke where his mouth goes. Hold this up so you can see it. So I want you to just draw your features in. You don't want this circle to collapse. And your eyes go up here. And then your space where your nose is going to go. That will vary depending on the size of your nose. You can also clip a little spot, but just poking that in will help the nose stay in. So let's add some little, well, first I'm going to add some pink. These are his cheeks. Just need to take a little dab. So I recently discovered something pretty cool. Alcohol markers are permanent, and they come in a million colors, and they make pretty good cheekies, little cheekies, without having to use the fiber. But we're being true to the fiber today. So you just need a little dusting of it. And you can make these as pink as you want, or you don't even have to put them in, but he's cold, so we need pink cheeks, right? He needs pink cheeks. You don't have to use super glue to put your things in. You can use a hot glue gun, just as long as they're nice and secure. Just use a couple fibers for the mouth. Too many fibers make it look like it was a kindergartner drawing it with a crayon. We just want to keep it nice and thin. Even if you start with a bunch like this, so I'm doubling it up. You can draft them out once they're attached to thin them out a little bit. Again, if you did not felt your head far enough, you're going to lose your details in the head. So hopefully you felted it nice and firm. Oh, and you guys post what you make in the Facebook, the Southern Oregon Felting group. Post what you make. We want to see it. It doesn't have to be something I teach you. I want to see everything everybody's making. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, and the part you really need to pay attention to because you want it to look good. Okay, so we have a little nose. Let's give him some eyeballs. Oh, I see what you were looking for in there.
I was kind of just stretching, honestly.
Oh, I'm out of good chocolate.
Hershey's good.
I know, but I need to get the good chocolate. We have a waffle sale coming up end of September. We just couldn't get it together for August. Whew. Too much going on. Ellie's at a goat show right now. So end of September, hopefully Friday. That's our favorite day. In the afternoon Pacific. That is our favorite day to show you guys all the new stuff. Hopefully I won't sell out of everything that's new for Flock and Fiber, so I still have some new stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to have to work like a crazy person. I'm washing some locks right now. That fly is really disturbing, Rip. And he's doing a bad job of catching it. Okay. I got a little fiber there we might have to cut off with scissors. Because you know how I detest black fibers in my white when I'm making eyeballs. All right, I'm poking where the nose goes. Again, you can use slits. All right, I have some little bells in here. Let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3. They're all different, which is kind of fun. So is my spot good enough? It is. Just make a nice indent. We're going to put a little glue on it. Don't get this on your fingers if you're using this kind. Have a friend, and if she's watching, it will be really funny. Her name's Beverly. She put the super glue bottle in her mouth to hold it, and it broke. She couldn't put her lips together for a while. Otherwise, they would have stuck together. It's pretty funny. You know, the stupid things that we do. So randomly, could you hand me the wire cutters? So if you have these kind of bells that have the little sew on spot, let's cut those off. And then they'll sit flat once you glue them on. If you cut these little ends off. See, this one doesn't have one, so we don't have to worry about it. So I like to put the scarf on and the bells on and then add the arms because I'll know where everything is. I mean, you can add your arms already, but I like to make sure I know where everything is. Kind of like I put the scarf on before the face. I normally use hot glue, but we're using this today. Either will work. You want to scatter them around like he melted into a puddle. Get on there, it's stuck to my finger. All right. Put your cap back on tight. Let's take those off of there. Take that off of there. Now we're going to make some little arms. So the other way I glue things is sometimes I will put a little dot of glue, but I think we can also felt it. So this is going to be one arm. You know, it doesn't look like much, right? And this will be the other arm. So we want a forked stick. That makes the best arms when you're building a snowman. One of my very best childhood memories was, I grew up in Michigan. I don't know if anybody knew that. And it used to really snow when I was young. I'm old now. And my dad would build us with us, the best snowman in the subdivision. Oh my gosh. We made one time that was over 10 feet tall. We had to use a ladder to get the balls on. It was pretty awesome. It was the hugest snowman ever. We would dress him in all kinds of stuff. But you had to spend a minute looking for the perfect sticks. And of course, he was always holding a shovel, and we had a top hat. One of my best memories. One of them. We used to make igloos too, out at the lake. So see how he's fluffy? So these arms are going to sink in like they're melted in. And I'll go back and felt this a little bit more. Let's get his arm in. And you want your sticks to be wiggly like sticks. For those of you that made the snowman wreath last week, I went back and did some with sticks instead of the wire arms, and I actually think I like those more than the poofy, the felted arms. So we have this one is landing. I'm gonna just give this a couple stabs. Oh, I'm gonna have to use a little bit of wool. Can you see what I did there? I'm gonna take a teeny bit of wool and just stab it through the polar fleece. So if you don't have a glue gun handy, you can do that. Just to wrinkle up his scarf. You can also cut little fringe in the edge, in the ends of the scarf. There we go. Let's do a little bit back here. It's just a fun little way to secure the scarf and make it look like it's windy outside. And then it's melting into a lump. I think this is the shortest video we've ever done. And he's all done, except I'm going to just felt on him a little bit and get this a little bit more secure. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you click like. Click like and follow us because it really helps us out. And you know what? Share our video all over the place. That helps us too.